Hello and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly energy forecast for June 7th to June 14th of 2017. I use the Osho Zen tarot cards, and let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin to shuffle the cards and call in our ascended masters, beings of love and light, all divine angels and entities. Oh, we got a few poppers, but you know what? I'm guided to put them back in. We call in all divine love and light entities that are here to assist in bringing forth messages and communicate the highest love and light through these cards and through me for all people that will be guided or drawn to watch all of this energy forecast or portions of it. And may we all receive exactly what we need from it. Now, we definitely had some poppers that went right down onto the floor. We're going to use those as an overview. And we're going to keep going. So let's see what 4 cards, maybe 3, but what cards are guided for the collective, that we may receive the highest wisdom, the highest guidance, for the highest good. Okay, we had another popper. It happens. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to take them into 3s. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick from the middle of the first pile, compromise. And then we're going to pick from the very bottom of the second pile, ordinariness. And then we're going to pick 3 down from the top, from the other pile, sorrow. Okay, so let's stick here. We have 6 cards, 3 that fell out at the beginning, and 3 that we just pulled. So it's interesting because we know from the last couple weeks, and especially this last week, it was that the vortex was still open. We were allowing ourselves to release all that we were ready to be done with, people, places, and things that no longer served our life path of where we were going, where we saw our future heading. And it could be relationships, it could be team members, it could be addictions, habits, mental, emotional thought patterns, and things that we were releasing and working to let go of and bless. And it's interesting because one of the first cards that fell out was the burden, but right next to it and with it was the outsider. And remember last week, the outsider came up, and the outsider is how we feel when we do not honor our truth in our heart. We feel disheveled. We feel out of sorts. We feel like we're looking beyond the gateway, beyond the illusion of a gate that seems to be locked, over to an area that's kind of like the rainbow lights are lit up, and we're going like, what's over there? I wonder what's going on over there. I want to be over there. But we haven't allowed ourselves to be over there because we still need to do the work. So since these 2 cards came up, this is just reiterating that unless we do that work, or we have done that work, even if the vortex is closed, and what I'm getting as a download is that June 9th is the full moon, depending on where you are in the world. It's June 9th, June 10th, and that's going to kind of be the high point of like, okay, that wall, remember I was doing that last week, that wall in Indiana Jones is coming down. Take what you need, leave what you don't need. Leave what you can live without, and what doesn't serve your path as you move forward. Otherwise, this is what will be, which is the burden. And if you look closely here, that's you on the bottom carrying an individual on your back that is completely unnecessary. And on top of that individual is like a chicken, a hen, a rooster. And it's just ridiculous because basically you're going uphill. And this burden that you're carrying is the one directing the way, is the one saying, yes, go forth, go this way, go this way. And it's really not the direction you want to go in. And that's why you feel like the outsider when you don't honor the truth in your heart, when you don't honor the things in your intuition, in your gut, and the aspects of you that know better. They know better. You always know better. And you get to use this time and every time, all the time, to practice sharpening that skill of listening, honoring, trusting that, and then just like letting go and letting love, letting go and letting God, letting go and allowing yourself to be true to that, to be with that, and then the ripple folds of the universe and how it becomes manifest for you will be according in alignment to that, which is different When you let go, it's different from this. What the universe is going to bring you when you're in this situation is exhaustion, is you going through your mind, beating yourself up, self-doubt, self-sabotage, because you know better. You know you should have said, I need to lighten my load before I walk up this hill and take this journey. But for whatever reasons, perhaps you haven't done that yet, and you're going to know right away. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to be a lot of work to just take one step after another. So that guidance is the inner voice, right? Last week, this was a huge part of our new vision. New vision was the last card in our reading last week, and it really spoke to us allowing ourselves to get out into nature or create the conditions in any way that we can so that we can attune to that still small voice within, so that we can be still enough inside of ourselves to know, to trust, to receive that aha that tells you without a shadow of a doubt what your truth is. That's your inner GPS. That's your compass. It's your higher self sort of radioing down to you like, hello, this is what the truth is, just in case you're confused down on the earth plane. This is what's up. This is your heart. This is your higher self talking. This is God calling you, so to speak. And you get there, you get the downloads, and be able to listen to the inner voice by creating the correct conditions. So we have a lot of moon energy here. We have dolphin energy, and we have that quartz, clear quartz right down there. And the waters are very healing and soothing. We have these beautiful plants that almost look Merkaba-ish or cannabis-ish. But ultimately, the idea is to learn how to swim in the waters of your emotional self and not to be afraid of it, and learn how to breathe. Dolphin energy is all about breathing underwater, breathing in circumstances where you would normally stop breathing, or where you would think that you can't find your breath, or that you have a hard time breathing. In anxiety, times of depression, times of difficulty. And so it's about learning to slow down enough to catch your breath, literally, get in sync with the breath so that you can be in sync with the divine messages that are always here and seeking your vessel to channel through you to gift you, that you may be blessed. That you may be blessed. And we see this face here, and in the third eye of the face, there's another face, and that's you, and that's your third eye vision. That's your physical vision and the larger face underneath it. And then your third eye vision, your higher self vision at the third eye, awakening. That, if you're watching this, you're into metaphysics, you're on a spiritual path on some level, and just know that it's an inside job, and only you can do it for yourself. You have to create those correct conditions. If you can't find time to relax, to chill, and to be at one with yourself, and to know what that feels like, and to be comfortable with that, it's going to be tough moving forward. It's going to be a burden moving forward in those higher frequencies, because you haven't created the correct conditions to listen to your truth, and so honor it, and so feeling like an outsider, and hey, if that's what's up, that's what's up. Bless it, trust it, know that there's something there for you to work on, to work with, and then move forward from there. So now let's get on to the reading, the actual 3 cards that we pulled for this week. We have compromise, ordinariness, and sorrow. So this is really, really powerful. What I see with compromise, it's an earth card, and here we have these 2 individuals that are, you see, they're right down there touching pinkies, touching their pinky fingers, and they're kind of looking at each other a little disgruntled. They're 2 sumo masters, and they're kind of like, well, I'll meet you here at the tip of my pinky, but that's as far as I'm going. And the truth about this card, the basis about this card, is if you've had to make compromises while you've been releasing the past, relinquishing what no longer serves, for some of us it's easy to just cut cords. We have certain life situations whereby we can just walk away, or we can release the person, the place, or thing, and turn the page and move on. For others, it's a very complex situation or set of situations. And so there may be aspects where you couldn't let the whole thing go, but you could partially begin to create those correct conditions to honor yourself, but maybe it's not in one whole sweep. So with that, you're compromising. And compromise is great. It's perfect, it's wonderful, and it can be a true blessing and a step in the right direction to the truth in your heart. The thing about compromise, though, is once you've made that decision and you've agreed on whatever it is that you've agreed on to compromise on, trust it and let it go. You don't want to make a compromise that you can't live with yourself on. So you definitely want to make a deal or make a compromise in a way that you can live with yourself, with your integrity, and that's authentic to you. And you might have to give away a little bit, but the point that I'm trying to make is once you compromise, don't bitch about it. You know, that's the thing with compromise. So you're going to compromise, you're going to meet them halfway, you're going to touch pinkies and be like, okay, this is as far as I'm going to go. They're like, this is as far as I'm going to go. Okay, we're going to work from this point. And then you honor it and you bless it and you trust it and you raise it. You raise it up to the Most High. You don't turn around and then bitch and complain to your friends and be like, do you know what I had to do? I couldn't blah, 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 blah. So blah, 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 and da, da, da. And don't dampen it. Don't keep bringing it down vibrationally. Bless it. So that's the caution with compromise. So anyone out there that's had to compromise in lightening your load as you travel and listen to your new vision download and move forward, know that compromise is about honoring your intention, meeting the path halfway, wherever it's willing to meet you. Allow yourself to, with integrity, meet it there. And then don't complain about your circumstances. Keep blessing your circumstances, even if they're not 100% where you want them to be at this time. Moving on to the next card, it's so beautiful, and it's ordinariness. And maybe for some of us, we don't have enough of this in our life. Ordinariness speaks to like just what this person is doing. They're out in the garden. They're walking the land. They're picking flowers or picking strawberries. They've got their little sun hat on, and they're just meandering through nature. There's so many beautiful pictures lately. I have friends, I spent 10 years growing up in Ireland, and I have some friends on Instagram in Ireland, and they're just posting all these beautiful pictures of being at the botanical gardens and the beautiful flowers and the fresh grasses and stuff. And it's so lovely. And that's what this card is wanting us to do. It's like these last couple weeks have been so massive and so major. And ordinariness is saying, like, now that you've gotten your vision, you're getting your downloads of what your new vision of your life is, this next stage of your life, you've done the work, you're releasing those people, places, and things from the past, you've compromised where you've needed to compromise. Now, relax in your fruits. Relax and get grounded. Relax and allow yourself to release the past. Allow yourself to release what no longer is. Grounding yourself by being in nature allows you to come fully into the present moment. Even in ordinariness, I was thinking about this the other day, it's like a really good hug. When you share a really good hug with someone, or someone shares a really good hug with you, something alchemical happens. And there's so many layers to it, but what really struck me is that it causes us to pause. It causes us to be present in the moment. It is such a now moment experience to really share an integral hug, a hug with feeling, a hug with breath, with heart-to-heart intention. It's a powerful, powerful alchemy that's shared. The same thing can happen when we allow nature to hug us. But we have to go out to nature to do that. Maybe you're hugging a tree. Maybe you're letting a tree hug you. Let yourself be enveloped by Mother Earth. She's so waiting to give you gifts. And I really, really believe that. I have a practice of spinning the staff. And there's a lot of things about that I'll talk about on a separate video. But what happens is it's my journey to the backyard that I call, that is this vortex here behind where I live. It's a quarter-mile hike. It makes me huff. It makes me sweat. It's uphill. It's hot out here in the desert. And that's just a part of it. It's getting up there with the staff. And then once I'm up there, I do a little Tai Chi. I breathe. I relax. Sometimes I meditate if I get up there early in the morning. I do the staff. But that's just a part of it. That's just a ploy to get me up there. Because what happens is I'm always struck by the amazing majesty of Mother Earth. And I forget, every time I forget. And then I go and I'm like, and every time I remember, she is so powerful. She is so beautiful. To remove ourselves from the hustle and bustle, to create a sacred time and space, to go and be with her. And it's the transmission. You know, Spirit speaks through nature, and she wants to hug you. Spirit wants to hug you. Mother Earth wants to hug you. She wants to hold you and support you. So allow yourself to receive that this week. Sorrow. This is really a powerful card. Don't be afraid of sorrow. It is a card of the mind. What it speaks to is there may be tears for you, and I'm getting especially this full moon could be pretty watery, that need to release, that will allow you a certain purification and a certain clarity that you would not have otherwise. And you know, sometimes when we do go into nature, when we do get quiet enough, sometimes it's a savasana after a really potent yoga class, there are some tears to purify our beautiful selves and to be released, to water the soils that are new within us. Allow yourself to feel for yourself. And also, you know, it's one thing when the vortex is open, the gateways are open, and we're doing the work, and we're like cutting cords, and we're releasing this person and changing that addiction and shifting this habit and pattern, or whatever the things are that we've been releasing. And then we do all this work, and then we finally get quiet, and we chill, and we're like, oh my God, my whole life, I've let go of X, Y, Z, and I'm changing elemental P. And then it's just like, blah. And depending on what kind of person you are, I know for me, I have Cancer rising. I can cry. I can cry pretty easily. It's a pretty normal part of my spiritual growth. So perhaps that's in line for you. But knowing that they're your own tears. This isn't about you crying for the world or for the sorrows or the badness in the world. This is about you crying because you're feeling yourself. You're feeling your transformation. That transformation that was illuminated a couple weeks back, this is now like, oh, you're feeling it on the mental and the emotional level, which gives rise to that final purification, that final purge. But this is a gentle purge. This isn't a massive like where you kind of got to go crazy and check yourself in somewhere. This is like that sobbing silent with yourself, like, oh, change. I've initiated some serious life path changes. And now I'm being hugged by nature, and I'm just going to purify my eyes out right now. I'm just going to let these tears roll, catch my breath, and be cleansed by them. They're very healing. I'm guided to pull one last card. Let's see what it is for our collective consciousness, our energy forecast for June 7th to June 14th of 2017. Let's see. What is our highest guidance for this reading, Divine Universe, sweet angels, ascended masters, loved ones, all light beings guided to hold space and share messages and a specific message through this reading, through me, for the highest good of all. What is our final card here for this reading? Oh, interesting. Exhaustion. Right? You're probably going like, man. It's funny because sometimes I have expectations about what cards, like, ooh, is it going to be abundance or this and that? And then you get exhaustion or something like this and you're like, man, bummer. But it's not really a bummer. This person is absolutely exhausted. Look at them. This is a card of mechanics. Look at all these wires and metal bits and pieces. It is it's red, so it is a card of fire. And interesting, the number 9, which is completions, integrity, wisdom, and completions. So allow yourself to take time to experience Mother Earth and to just be ordinary, right? It's like do you live a pop star life? Maybe you need a little vacay, and not a vacay to go and do more partying, but a vacay to just like get down with yourself, to just be normal. Deep spiritual work is uprooting patterns, cellular memory, habits, addictions, conditioning, stories that connect us to the grid, that connect us to the greater matrix that this universe is plugged into. And as we unplug from those aspects that used to serve us, that no longer do, there is a recalibration. There is a deep need to go back to Mother Earth, to be healed by her, even if it's for little bits at a time. Take off your shoes, get grounded, let your feet touch the earth. When's the last time you did that? Let the tears fall where they need to go. Just let the purge happen and take care of yourself. It's when we don't do those little things to keep ourselves in balance that we burn the candle at both ends, and we can suffer from exhaustion, mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, if we don't give ourselves the opportunity to cleanse and purge, go for that massage, go treat yourself, be touched, get Reiki, be healed, touch yourself, do Reiki on yourself, do things that are sensual and that are going to lift your life force energy, and release. And be mindful that you don't burn yourself out by giving yourself enough time to be with Mother Earth. Don't complain where you have compromised or where you are making compromises this week. Make sure they're in alignment with your integrity, with your authenticity. And then once you've made those compromises, honor them like a master. Trust yourself, trust them, trust the other person or people for the highest good, and keep blessing it. Don't bitch about the things that you've compromised on. Bless them, keep raising them up, lifting them up. Thank you so much for being with me. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this was your weekly energy forecast for June 7th to June 14th of 2017. Namaste. I feel so blessed that you hang out, that you watch this, that you share it, that you comment, that you're subscribing to my YouTube station. I have so much coming up later this year. I'm going to be releasing my book. I'm going to have some free ebook giveaways. I'm going to be creating a new newsletter. There's going to be so many things. I'm going to do live YouTube where we can interact. So thank you for hanging out, and many blessings.